What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Breaking the Kernel. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to Kendrick Lamar. The Super Bowl is getting a little crazy, so let's get right into it, man. Listen, I made a video earlier about Kendrick Lamar, or earlier this week about Kendrick Lamar getting the Super Bowl nod, right? He's performing the Super Bowl in February 2025. It is the biggest stage for any American artist because it is the biggest stage for music in America performance wise. Not awards, not no. Performance wise, it gets no bigger than the Super Bowl. In my opinion, matter of fact, I should probably have researched this before. I want to say the Super Bowl gets more viewership than the Grammys and the VMAs, etc., etc. And if you're performing the halftime show, that means a lot of people tune into the Super Bowl just for the halftime show and then leave. Um, So it's a huge stage. Now, internationally, is not the biggest stage, obviously. Cricket, soccer, there's so many other sports and stages, right? But for America and American audiences, the Super Bowl, there's nothing bigger than the Super Bowl. So, why did I say all that? Lil Wayne's is what the. Basically, people are very mad about Lil Wayne not performing. The Cash Money crew is also very angry that Lil Wayne got snubbed because he's from New Orleans. It makes sense. I'm a Lil Wayne fan. Been one since I can remember, like, actively trying to listen to rap as a kid. Lil Wayne's him. With that being said, we need to get over it. I'm sorry, people. We got to. This is why. Because it came out, by the way. It came out last night that Lil Wayne himself on video said that he was disappointed. He was hurt. He's trying to heal. Yada, 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 right? Very important video. Definitely check it out. Because that's what I was waiting for. I heard Nicki. I heard Birdman. Drake posted something on the story. Whatever, right? None of those people matter. Because they weren't the people who were going to get the nod for the Super Bowl. It was Lil Wayne. I need to hear from Wayne himself how he felt about this. And he finally made it publicly known how he feels about it. And he has every right to be angry and upset and betrayed whatever emotions he's going through, whatever he's got to do to get better. He should do it, and I don't blame him. With that being said, I would have liked him to. I don't know. I would have liked him to be like, yo, Kendrick, congratulations, regardless, bro. Like, I know he's going to kill it. Now, Kendrick had a beef with Drake. Drake, Cash Money, Wayne, all this stuff. So I understand why Wayne wouldn't do that or care to. And I'm not even saying he needs to. I'm just saying, personally, me, selfishly, would have liked him because it's a big moment for rap. Kendrick's the first solo rapper to do this. It's a huge moment for rap. And I understand from a competitor standpoint, from just a GOAT standpoint, Wayne's like, I want that should have it's teed up perfectly to be my moment. And the powers that be snub me from the once in a life. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for Wayne. Is the Super Bowl going to go back to New Orleans? Of course it is. For sure it is. It's a dome stadium. But for you to be the first solo rapper and in New Orleans and there's a home, like, it's never happening again. This is it. It's Kendrick's moment. Kendrick took that moment. But for people to say that Kendrick did not deserve this moment is ludicrous. No one in hip hop, no one in rap, I should say, had a bigger moment this year than Kendrick Lamar. I don't care. It's so crazy the year the run that Kendrick's having right now that no matter what any other artist does, Drake or anybody else does, this year will not top what Kendrick Lamar just did. It is not possible. That's the insanity. He's having like a Linsanity type run right now. And we're gonna get into Kendrick dropping a new song on IG in a second. But that just shows you, bro. Like, it just shows you who Kendrick Lamar is. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's close up Wayne first. I love Wayne. Wayne deserves all the flowers in the world. He deserves the biggest stages in the world, etc., etc. But here's also the business side of things. There's people coming out saying that Wayne is difficult to work with. He comes late. I forgot if it was the BET Awards or so. I forgot what award show it was in which the organizer came out and said that Wayne was difficult to work with. He didn't show up to rehearsals like that. We didn't even know he was going to perform until like minutes before, like things like that. And then he just dipped after his performance. And listen, at the end of the day, That's important because this is not just regular people, concert goers who are saying this. These are the organizers. These are people whose job it is to make sure their show runs as it should to the best show possible, and the people who pay Lil Wayne to do what he does best. Those are the people who matter. Because if you think the NFL, because this is the NFL event, if you think the NFL gives a flying fuck, excuse my language, but I have to say it. If you think the NFL gives a flying fuck about who performs, like, they care about who performs, obviously, but I mean, they don't care about the cultural, they don't care. That's New Orleans and Lil Wayne's from there, and they don't care about any of that. They don't care. What they do care about is growing the game, having as much eyes on the halftime show as humanly possible. Shout out to the Wayne's family, Marlon Wayne's and everything. If you know, you know. Watch the Club Shay Shay interview. Is very informative of why the Super Bowl halftime show even exists in the first place. The NFL doesn't want that kind of incident again. They want as much eyes on their product as long as possible for that entire event runtime, including commercial breaks and halftime shows. For God's sakes, the NFL, the Super Bowl, one of the biggest things, it declined off a hill the last like 6 years. But like the commercials was one of the biggest events of the Super Bowl. The funny or innovative commercials. The NFL wants to monetize as much as of that event as humanly possible, where they even have people staying or tuning into their event solely for commercial breaks. No one likes commercial breaks, right? The whole point of selling streaming and all that stuff is that there's no commercials. So you're telling me you're getting people to tune into your stuff and they don't even know what football is just for the commercials? And that's how you know. Like, the NFL is a business, bro. They're a business. They're in the business of getting bread. Kendrick Lamar gives them the best chance out of any artist outside of Drake. Kendrick Lamar gives them the best chance to have the most eyes on their Super Bowl halftime show. Yes. Is the thing with Jay-Z, is Jay-Z petty? Is Jay-Z a good person? Yada, yada. There's a whole other discussions around Jay-Z that if y'all want, we can get into later. But right now I want to focus on Kendrick Lamar because Kendrick Lamar should be congratulated. Kendrick Lamar should be he had the biggest year, bro. Wayne has not done a single thing the last 2-3 years that I can think of that's as big as Kendrick's run right now that says, hey, we should risk having Lil Wayne on the stage. If I'm the NFL. Not talking about as a Lil Wayne fan. I'm talking as NFL. If I'm the NFL, if I'm Roger Goodell, if I'm the 32 owners, if I'm Kendrick Lamar's a no-brainer. You know, if I'm an owner, I don't really bother with all this nonsense. I'm just like, yo, who gives us the best? Kendrick? Cool. Kendrick gets a nod. And also, if you think the powers that be, I'm not even talking about just the NFL or Jay-Z. I'm talking about the powers at be. I'm talking even the government of Los Angeles. If you think they're not setting up Kendrick Lamar and West Coast rappers to be the face of rap for America, you're mistaken, bro. They're trying to do that. Because guess what happens in 4 years? The Olympics. Guess where the Olympics is in 4 years? Los Angeles, California. If you think they don't want to champion Kendrick, Dre, and them, hell, even Ice Cube, depending on where Ice Cube is at that time, if you don't think they want to showcase all their history of West Coast rap in the Olympics, you're crazy, bro. I'm telling you right now, Kendrick Lamar is going to perform in LA in 2028, especially if he's going to drop an album like in 2025, 2026. Kendrick drops. I guarantee you, especially with the eyes that he has now, he's going to be in 2028, bro. The only person I could see performing in 2028 or doing something with the Olympic Committee is Drake, and that's only if he wants to be super petty and super hilarious and be like, yo, I'm performing there in your city and there's nothing you can do about it. I would not advise that, but I could see that happening. Others outside of that, I don't know who. I mean, outside of a West Coast rapper, I don't know who else you would put. Like, I can see LA one, like, the opening ceremony. There could be opening concert or like closing ceremonies, closing concert or like in the middle. I don't know. I'm just saying, I would not be surprised to see some kind of musical concert performance in LA to demonstrate West Coast rap and I can see Kendrick Lamar being the face of that, or getting a huge say in who gets to do it. So I see that. Also, guess who is footing the bill for this, or contributing heavy for this, is Apple Music. Guess who charted for them? Number one, Kendrick Lamar, not Lil Wayne. So at the end of the day, Kendrick Lamar gets a nod. Guess who had a pop-out show in Los Angeles with every gang known to LA mankind? On Amazon. Amazon. It was Kendrick Lamar. If you think that Kendrick Lamar is not deserving, you're doing this either as a Drake stan or a Wayne stan or a Cash Money stan. You're not doing this from like a logical perspective, and I understand. I'm not even going to fault you for that. But at the end of the day, the NFL is a business. They don't care. They just want to make sure they get money and as much eyes on their event as humanly possible, and that's Kendrick Lamar right now. Now, one thing I also want to note, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it. I hate to say this, but I'm going to say this. I've criticized Drake for this many times, and I'll continue to do so, but I'm starting to see that as a Cash Money thing. The people at Cash Money love to play victim. Because every time Drake gets into beef, or anytime any of them get into beef, they act like they either didn't fire the shots first, or they weren't active participants in said beef or drama. And I just don't understand it. Now, Wayne had nothing to do with Drake's beef, and I don't even want to take it there, but since people are going there, I'll go there too. Did the beef play a major role in Kendrick Lamar getting this spot? Of course it did. Don't get twisted. Just like Wayne, Kendrick has a great catalog that deserves to be at the halftime show. But guess who's had more consistent concerts, and guess who had, like, consistent meaning not just quantity of concerts, but the quality of the concerts? Kendrick Lamar. Guess who broke the record twice for sales for concerts? Kendrick Lamar. Like, Kendrick Lamar deserves this over Wayne. I'm sorry. Wayne is deserving of this opportunity, but Kendrick Lamar has put in the work to get this. Yeah, and we've seen what he's done at the pop-out show. We've seen what he's done at the Super Bowl. The camera work, the dance work, the dance choreo. Like, Kendrick, we've seen what he's done in the Grammys. Like, Kendrick can perform. This is what it is, a performance. This is not just, hey, let me go on stage, walk back and forth, rap. No. This is a performance. Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar are going to do something special, and I cannot wait. Yeah, playing victim. I really hate this, because at the end of the day, bro, Drake had beef with Kendrick, right? And already, according to Drake, and a lot of people do not like Drake. People who have power do not like Drake. So at the end of the day, when you have beef like that, and people are going to be on your team, they're going to suffer as well. That's the unfortunate side of war, or like the unfortunate side of like doing this kind of business, is that you can be with your boy, you should ride with them, and you 100% should do that. That's what friends and homies do. But then the day, bruh, if that person loses, you lose too. If we're taking it that route, I don't even think that's the way we should interpret this. I think when it comes to beef, it starts and ends with Kendrick being victorious, and Kendrick getting a lot more eyes on him internationally, and Kendrick just being the artist he's always been, and just outdoing Drake, and that it is what it is. Now, closing the book on that, I want to end with talking about Kendrick's new song that is still to this point, I believe, is on Tidal still. Look, man, Kendrick is a G, right? I mean, my thoughts on the song are just, he went in, bro. He went absolutely stupid with it. Like, he called out the industry. Yeah, did he have like a bar for Drake? Of course he did. But 99% of the song was about the industry. It's about people who do podcasts like me. It was about definitely about the academics. is definitely by Ack, Joe Budden, uh, like just all these, all these podcasts, all these bloggers, all these TV shows, all these streaming not services, but the shows on these services. Like, it's not just about Drake. Now, Kendrick, I feel you, but like Charlemagne said on the Breakfast Club, I just feel like we're too far gone. I feel like it's just this monster has to eat itself, and we have to start anew. I don't know if Kendrick Lamar is going to be the person to reset that part of the industry, right? Because the industry is big. It's not just blogger stuff, but like that part of the industry, it's just like it's almost like it's like how content creators are, right? It's just like that. People are influencer culture, creation culture, like that industry or that part of what's going on, bro. Like, is too big. There's too much money circulating. It's way cheaper to do things the way the industry is doing it now than it was back in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s. You know what I'm saying? Like even mid 2000s, when we really think about it, like it's just the monster's too big. But I really love that song because it really spoke to me, bro. Like he's just tired of what he's seeing. He's tired of all this stuff. He's tired of the monetization of mediocrity, right? Like he's just tired of like you just see people with these opinions, which everyone deserves to have their opinion, but like it's just we get people like academics. I feel like you get people like Drake. You get people who just make these nonsense songs, or like, and not just saying Drake. Drake does have his own hits, his own classics, his own right. But I'm talking about like just these rappers, bro. Like at least SoundCloud. Like I don't even know if they call them SoundCloud rappers anymore. I don't know what you label them as, but it's just like I can understand the frustration on his end. I just hope he doesn't drive himself crazy trying to do this. But it was a great song. It was super dope. I have it on repeat. I'm happy people upload it on YouTube so like people can listen to it, stop it, rewind it, really like deep like listen to his bars. And his music. I'm not going to call it his music for intellectuals, but it's like actual rap, like it's actual music that you actually have to listen to the lyrics. And I feel like I've heard every type of argument with this song. I heard a lot of people online talking about he shouldn't have dropped it, or he's starting round two again. I don't think so. I think he literally said in the Super Bowl commercial there is no round twos. In this song, he even kind of goes like, yo, like, I'm closing a chapter on this Drake beef. It is what it is. The people have spoken. Like, I'm done with you. Like, I already got you out the way. Now I'm attacking the industry. Like, now is me versus the industry. Now it really is 20v1. Like, he's saying it's different now. Like, I'm going on a different type of vibe right now. He's on demon time. And I think that's fair. Because to me, what this does now is like, okay, now I'm even more intrigued in what he's doing for the Super Bowl. Because, yeah, he has a huge catalog. And I hope he does play some really cool stuff from his catalog. Like, that's what I want from a Kendrick Lamar concert. But he could surprise us with a new song during his Super Bowl performance. The Grammys was a week before. So he could perform Not Like Us or Euphoria or whatever during the Grammys, if he even wants to attend that, and then he could in the Super Bowl do something completely new or repeat it. I don't really know, but like, it's interesting to me. It sparks more intrigue because again, Kendrick doesn't use social media. He's not outside like that. Like the only insight we get to Kendrick's mind or what he's thinking isn't through tweets or stories or memes. It's through his music, which I appreciate. So like. That's like from before this, the last song obviously was Not Like Us, and people are now turning it into like, oh, he can make his club bangers. Which if you're saying that you like, come on, dude, like come on. So like him dropping this song is like, yo, and I said this during the beef because he did it too, but like is Kendrick can go in and out of whatever type of music he wants to make. He can make something like Not Like Us. He can make something like Euphoria. He can make something like 616 LA. He can make something like this I'm calling it Black Air Force song. He can make these type of songs, bro. He can go in and out of these things. Like Kendrick Lamar doesn't care, and he's a big artist. Like he doesn't have to abide by a rules of some underground art. Like that's the thing. I feel like people keep thinking Kendrick Lamar is some underground artist. Like he's not, bro. He's been around for a very long time. He's been successful for a very long time. His tours say that. Like the numbers on his tours alone say that. Like I don't I just don't understand. Like people are just very weird when it comes to Kendrick Lamar. And I think there is definitely a bias for Drake. Like I just think people see themselves in Drake. Not saying his flamboyant nature or anything, just in terms of the stuff he raps about or sings about. The kind of the way he conducts himself in certain ways. I'm not even talking about all the pedo stuff. I'm not talking about those claims. I'm talking about just the proven things about Drake, or at least how Drake shows to carry himself. Like that stuff, not the allegation stuff, like the actual stuff. People see that in themselves or want to be that, and so of course they're going to take problem with that because that's like attacking your character. So I just feel like people need to take a deep breath and really think about where their frustration with Kendrick Lamar comes from, because I don't think Kendrick has really done anything to really warrant some of the bullshit he gets, quite frankly. But that's how I feel about it. It was a really dope song. Have it on repeat. It just, that bar about him not wanting to drop because, or being hesitant to drop or whatever, or not even hesitant. He's not enthused to drop because the more he gets the spotlight on him, the more his spirit is tried. You know, the more like people try to test him, like Drake. You know, um, I understand. I understand that more than like people can realize. Like I really understand that aspect because it does happen when you get to a big platform. Like people want to test you because you're constantly is a throne. But at the end of the day, like people are constantly going to test you for that. Not even a throne, but they're going to talk. Well, for Kendrick's a throne. For people like me, it's just like a spot. And they're going to try to test you for your spot, whatever industry you may be in, whatever kind of profession you may be in. Like it could be even corporate, the corporate American ladder. Like people gonna want your job. People gonna want that raise. People gonna want that position. Like, and you don't perform. You don't constantly starve those people off, or you know what I'm saying. You don't like constantly like stiff arm those people from getting you. Like you're gonna get got. So I understand where he's coming from. It's a song that really resonated with me personally. I think it's peak Kendrick form. I think Kendrick is very angry. I think Kendrick is very, not even angry. He's angry, but he's also more than anything else. He's disgusted with a lot of things, especially the industry. And he's having these conversations with himself. And again, because we don't get to really get that much exposure to Kendrick, like at least in his personal life and his personal thoughts, the one way we get that is through his work, his music, his performances. And so when he does drop, it's about what he's thinking, about how he's feeling. And I feel like for people to say he shouldn't drop is so dumb because he doesn't drop that often. His last album was 2 years ago, and before that, before the beef, we did not hear a single piece of new. I think he has some collabs here and there, like on like that, but that's the start of this, like really just not the start, but the spark of like this beef that would become or evolve into what it is now. Um, yeah, and don't forget like about first person shooter. Don't forget about push ups. Don't forget like I just feel like people think like Kendrick just out of nowhere started this thing and was bullying Drake, and it's like no, it's just that's not what happened, bro. Like, and yeah, he's tired of the situations, and there is such a thing as oversaturated or being oversaturated, right? Like I think Drake does do that, in my opinion. Um, and because of how active Drake is on social media, which is nothing. I mean, I don't like it, but that's a very like personal thing. Like just how that's my personal taste, I should say. It has nothing to do with whether he should or should not do it, but he does do it. And so, like, we get his opinions. He does pop up with some interviews and stuff sometimes. We get his opinions. We get how he feels in his songs and stuff like that and his social media posts. Kendrick, we don't. We have to just wait for his projects. Whatever project he drops, usually on his album, not just on, like, some kind of, like, song or whatever. Like, a feature, I should say. He really just elaborate and storytell about how he feels about something, like what he's going through, like what his personal demons are, what he's fighting, how he views the world, stuff like that. Like, so for him, is a lot more purposeful, and that's just he's an artist. Like that's how he learned to like express himself, and that's through his work. And I think if more artists were like that, we would have more quality music, or at least it would separate quality for it will separate the quality. I'm not saying everyone should be a conscientious rapper. There's nothing wrong with club bangers or dance hall music. Like, there's nothing wrong with all these different type of music. But I'm just saying, like, be more purposeful with your music and making sure it's actually good, and making sure you know how to perform that music and champion your own stuff. I think is really important. So that's how I view the Kendrick Lamar situation. Let me know how what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like Kendrick is on a run right now, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I think he's gearing up for war in a way that we've never seen before, and I'm very excited to see what this man does at the Grammys and what he does at the Super Bowl. It could be some controlled Kanye madness, not full yay, but just like Kanye, like prime Kanye type madness. We'll see. Peace.